Record right now.
Get it, boy. Okay.
You're in charge.
I am. That sucks.
Hi,
buddy.
Hey, what's happening?
Chilling. Wanted to do this, reciprocate what you did previously.
Yeah.
I love this initiative of yours. So,
Thank you.
in the spirit of that, I'm going to ask you questions.
All right.
And I'm going to be quiet, which is difficult for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best. And away we go.
All right. Okay.
So metal.
Metal.
That's usually one of our bonding points.
Yes.
I want to hit you with a mirror of what you hit me with.
Mm-hmm.
Start at the beginning.
Okay. Well, I guess, I was thinking about this late at night for many nights. I'm like, how am I going to answer this? And it usually lasts about 20 minutes. So we're going to shorten that down. I don't know. Like, I didn't really like my parents' music a whole lot. Like, they had some stuff I liked, like Bush and Deftones and stuff. And, like, I really liked Billy Idol as a kid. White Wedding was, like, my favorite song. So it's just, like, like heavy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I got into, like, a Metallica song and, like, Ozzy, kind of through, like, my grandpa or my dad or this dude my mom was dating really like Molly Crew and Rat. So I got into, like, shit like that. But I only really liked the songs, and I never really, like, listened to it. Like, I had an iPod, and I mix it in with, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer fucking music and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, like, whatever. And, like, Weird Al, like, it was always just bullshit.
Sure.
And then, like, it really hit me when I was, like, I think I was 11, when I heard Marilyn Manson for the first time. I was watching this TV show called Grimm. The beginning of the episode, they play the original Sweet Dreams. At the end of it, they play his version of it.
Fairy Tale show?
Yes.
Yes, I remember that show.
And I, like, couldn't get it out of my head, and, like, it was really weird because I was describing it to my mom one time and like, her friend, and I was like, there's this song on this show, and I can't and it seriously came on the radio. And I was like, this is it.
Love
like, this
that.
is the song. And they're like, oh, that's Marilyn Manson. I didn't know, my mom's friend was, like, really into Nine Inch Nails and Manson and shit, and she was kind of telling me, and my mom was kind of telling me. And then, like, I would watch, like, it was over that summer. It was, like, the first summer by myself with, like, my brother, who just kind of just chill in the apartment all day that my mom had. I just watched music videos all fucking day and interviews and all kinds of stuff. So, and I would get scared and, like, exit out and then go back in, and just, like, try to watch, like, Coma White or, like, Saint, like, 8 times, and it would always scare me, and I would just stop. But yeah, I just got really into it, and I think I was, like, kind of on that cusp of, like, kid to teenager, and I was still kind of figuring that out. But I really liked his dichotomy with stuff. It was, like, childish and adult.
Marilyn still.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson, Marilyn Manson, the name itself,
Mm-hmm.
good, evil. Like, I was really into that idea. And then, like, as I was getting into his music, I was like, oh, he's touring with Rob Zombie, and that was, like, the first real show I saw. And I was like, I like Dracula. Like, I remember that song as a kid, or I saw him perform with Rammstein at some award ceremony, and I was like, I like Rammstein. So he like, through him, I would just start getting into other shit. And I would just remember, like, he went on tour with Alice Cooper, and I was like, I saw Alice Cooper on the fucking Muppet Show. Like, I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it would just kind of spiral from there. And then
very culturally relevant.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then after, like, and I only listened really to him for, like, 3 years straight, pretty much, and I got all the albums and stuff. And then I want to say, like, it truly felt like I got into, like, I could classify myself as a metalhead when I was in, like, high school, when I was, like, 17, because I liked Manson, and through him I got into, like, Smashing Pumpkins, and then, like, KMFDM, and because I would be like, oh, these people collaborated with him, or he has ex-members of the band, so on and so forth. And then I was, I went back. I'm like, oh, I liked Enter Sandman as a kid. My grandpa showed me that. Let's buy the Black Album. You know what I mean?
I wanted to ask you, when there was, for some reason, this stuck with me.
Yeah.
When you said you heard a Metallica song, I was just like, what Metallica song?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was my grandpa. He's like, I think, like, he was showing me his new, like, what do you call that? Like, his new sound system. Ooh. And he had a PS3, so he just downloaded a shit ton of music to it. He's like, check this out. And it was Enter Sandman. And I was like, hey, it's okay or whatever. And then he got me, like, an iPod Nano, like, a year later, and he put that song on it. And I re-listened to it. And I was like, this is cool. And I liked Sad But True. But, like, like, I liked it, but I never really liked it. It never felt like my music, if that made any sense.
And I think it could, definitely. It's like how I feel about things like Led Zeppelin,
Totally.
where it's like it wasn't necessarily made for us,
Yeah.
but it's obviously valuable quality work.
Sure, sure.
So, what was it in Maryland? Not because you spoke very much to like a practical aspect.
Yeah.
What about the subject matter appealed to you so much?
I don't know. I think like I mean, like when I was a kid, I was really into comic books, and like I really liked Deadpool since I was like 7, or like Wolverine, and they
Flash it, boy. Come on, show the
oh,
people. There it is.
So, I just like that kind of darker stuff, I guess. I was just more, because it was just a little bit edgier. You had Spider-Man, which everybody likes when they're a kid or whatever.
yeah.
But then it's just like, oh, these people are more morally ambiguous, and I feel like for whatever reason in my life, like there was a lot of moral ambiguity going on, and I just felt like that was more realistic or something.
Yeah, Peter Parker's a goody gumdrop.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, which is cool, but that's not my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's how it kind of was with Manson too, because I'm like, here's this guy, he's really open about talking about his like feelings, even if they're really kind of not safe for work or whatever. Like sometimes they're like really morbid and violent and sexual and all this shit, and I was just like, I kind of feel that way too.
Cool.
And like this is kind of behind closed doors stuff, just right in my face. And I really was attracted to that. Same, so
not to go to too terrible a place, but do you think where you're from had some influence in the curiosity?
In some ways, I mean, I think I was just kind of like, I don't know, because like I don't know, I always really liked kind of light and dark stuff.
So the dichotomy really spoke to you.
Yeah,
because that was you mentioned that previously as well. So that's okay, cool.
Yeah, that was a big part of it because I was just like, I don't know, I was just like, well, I'm from a really nice area, suburban life, nice family and stuff, but I still feel like shitty sometimes. Like I don't know, and I was just like, where is this coming from? Or like bad stuff would happen or whatever, and I was like, well, this shouldn't happen if everything's good, So it was just, I don't know. It was just really making me feel like, what the fuck's happening?
Totally.
Yeah.
So another question, as a person who knows you.
Yeah.
Where did King Diamond enter the picture?
Yeah.
I may be skipping a few steps.
Sure.
But since we're sticking so far to the topic of music, I really want to know how, why, and to tag that question, when did it become so intense for you?
Okay, so this is so random. I almost feel like this isn't okay. It is. I was like freaking out for this guy, right? But fucking okay. So I'll kind of finish the chronology.
Go for it.
Also.
Sure.
So yeah, like I think in like high school, I had a buddy, and another friend. Like we were all. It was kind of like a group of 3, or really more 2, but 3 kind of. And we were all kind of getting into music at the same time, not just metal, just music in general. And we would listen to Jimi Hendrix relentlessly. I know you don't like him at all.
I don't.
But we were getting into him, and then like I would go to the record store, or we would go to the record store, and I saw Leprosy by Death, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then my buddy was like, "Oh, that's one of their better albums," and I was like, "Well, I'm fucking buying this," and I love
Good
that.
guy to have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And, we would talk. We were into all kinds of different shit, and then kind of on my own like side quest. This is where you're gonna see how insane I am, because when I was going off of the Deadpool stuff, I had a thing, and this was very possible back in the day because he wasn't that popular.
Okay.
Where I was like, I'm just gonna find every video game that has Deadpool in it and just play it, which at the time was like 4.
Yeah, I was about to say you're not climbing Everest there.
And like my new obsession was Marilyn Manson when I got older, and I was like, I'll just do the same thing with him.
Good luck.
Which was way more complicated. But there was like, I would just look around like, okay, look it up, what's he in, what's he doing? And I only got one, which was Brutal Legend. Which on the PS3, and I think I got it at GameStop for like $5. It didn't even have the cover on it. Like it was just like that paper, like used whatever. Like they just had the disc.
Cool.
But I was like, oh, I like Jack Black. I like Tenacious D. My buddy that I mentioned was kind of into that, and we watched it or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I always like liked metal. Like I always knew that. Like I had this weird thought in my mind where it's like metal is the superior genre. But I'm just not good enough to like listen. Like I didn't feel like I was knowledgeable enough, or I knew enough, or
you gate kept yourself.
I did. Because everybody's like, you're a metalhead, and I was like, I don't have Rain and Blood on CD. I don't think I can call myself that. Like I was so specific. Like I was like, I can't call myself something that I don't feel like I've earned yet. It was so crazy. But I got Brutal Legend.
I love you.
Yeah, dude.
That is like I didn't think I would hear something that funny this early in the year, and my whole body's like sweating. So proceed.
So yeah, I like gate kept myself, but I got the Brutal Legend game, and I just was like, this is awesome. Like this is cool as fuck. And because you just kill dudes and drive around and just...
I never played it.
Yeah, you just drive around and jam metal and just shoot shit. And I had learned so many bands like Angel Witch. I really... Yeah, dude, that song was on there. Like,
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just picked that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the song.
Yeah.
But like Angel Witch was on there, and then... And don't worry, I'm segueing to King Diamond.
You say whatever you want. I'm listening.
So it had like it had Angel Witch, it had Slayer, it had Anthrax, it had Motorhead on it, which I started to get into through that. But the main, like probably the biggest band I got into from that was Judas Priest.
Oh, okay.
Because it had Leather Rebel on it, which I really liked that song. And then I think it also had Battle Hymn, One Shot at Glory, The Helium Electric. It had 5 other songs. And I was like, man, these are really good songs. Like, I'm really into this. And then at the end, like the final battle, Painkiller plays. Like, no! That is the last song. And you just like cut off his head and then kick it off, like the main villain. And it's just like, and I was like, what? What is this song? So then, like, you unlock that song at the end. So I just got in the car and just like kept skipping it and like listening for like 2 seconds. And I'm like, when is that song coming on? And then I heard like, and I was like, what is happening?
One of the better drum intros of all time.
That like blew my mind. Like I became obsessed with Painkiller and like Screaming for Vengeance and all that shit. But like that was almost like a party trick for me because I would like, this is so complicated. So,
I have make your point because I made an observation.
Okay, I was gonna So we're like, I'm doing this, and I was like, it was like a party trick that my brother and I do, where we would sing Painkiller together because we could both hit the falsetto because we were both lifeguards, and we go in the guard room and we would just sing it. And it was like a
you and Aiden singing in the guard room?
It was like a party trick or something. Everybody was like, how the fuck are you singing that high? And that was just something that we could do.
I was actually going to ask you that at some point too. Was when you but proceed.
Yeah, so like, but like I kind of going back, like I had a drum kit. I would write. I would constantly write lyrics. Right when I got into Manson, probably like a week later, I was like, I need to start writing lyrics. And they were awful. I was in like 4th grade. Of course they were. They were fucking shit. They're not gonna be good. But I was always writing lyrics, and I was always practicing vocals. Like I was always trying to like, because I was like, I don't have the patience to learn an instrument, so I just have to fucking do something. And like the plan, like Aiden and I were talking about this. I was like, I will write this stuff, you will sing it. That was always kind of like an unspoken thing, because he was just a better singer than me, and he still is.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
He was in choir. Like he actually did shit. I was just fucking scream whispering into my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But like,
shout out Aiden again.
Yeah. So we were like, playing Brutal Legend. We got into Guitar Hero. Got the mic set up, and that was like a lot of practice. When I got a car and I could drive around and sing, and then when we had Guitar Hero, that would just like took everything up to the next level.
So you're straight up like, not disciplined enough to learn an instrument, learns arguably the hardest instrument, which is like the human body.
Yeah. So that was
while exercising composition.
Right.
Yeah,
so that was just kind of like just fucking around, just doing that.
So okay, I really love that, but I wanted to ask you this, because through what you're telling me, your tattoos are very representative of many of the things precisely that you've been talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
You
this
know?
is like this is fundamental shit.
So that is really what's going on, from the Deadpool all the
Yeah.
way down to Show No Mercy.
Right.
Damn, dude. Can you show everyone the painkiller tattoo?
Oh sure.
I mean, God in heaven above. That tattoo is so sick. Shout out Santiago.
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, he's the real deal. But like that's how I've always been. Like once I'm into something, that's it. It's over.
And these things that got their hooks in you early,
Yeah.
these are quality, formative things,
Yeah.
and a diverse array of them.
Yeah.
Did you know that you were getting into popular metal while you were getting into it?
Not really. Well, I don't know, because like kind of going back to like the high school stuff, I was really like the first. This is going to be an insane sentence.
Listen.
So, like I said, completely obsessed with Marilyn Manson. I would only watch concerts that he was performing at. That was it for like 5 years. Like the first one I saw was him with Rob Zombie, then it was him with Coop, Solo, Smashing Pumpkins, all this shit. The first show that I saw that was not him on the bill was Ghost in 2017. And I thought they were a big band because I was like, Cerise is, or whatever the fuck that song is, like a huge song. Circe, I think it's like
a Ghost
song.
The second album?
Third.
Oh, I know it a chance in hell. I know.
I was like, okay. Yeah, so like that was it. Like, and my friend was so into them, and I like kind of got into it. And I saw them live, and I was like, oh, this is insanity. Mm-hmm. Like, this is fucking great. Sure. Their identities hadn't been revealed, but like that was at the Fillmore, and I was like, okay, the Fillmore is big enough to have Manson, and they had like posters all over the wall. I'm like, Slayer was here. Like, I was like, okay, this has got to be like medium sized, mm-hmm. right? And then after that, I saw KMFDM, Chelsea Wolfe, Ministry, and they were all kind of like that medium sized stuff. And then we would always listen to Big Four. You know, we saw Slayer at Fiddler's and shit. So like I knew they were big, and I saw people with Death shirts, and I was like, okay, this is a big band. Like, you know, like, sure. So I never really thought. I knew I was just touching the surface.
Fair enough. Yeah. And it is all, even though it's popular, it's not, watered down or derivative. Yeah. These are all foundational things.
Totally.
Okay, fascinating. Yeah. You still haven't answered my King Diamond
question. Sorry. Okay. So there's kind of two ways I got into it.
Okay.
So the first one was, still in high school. It's like 2018 or 19. Show my age. But so I was like, I had my dad had he still has a Spotify Premium, mm-hmm. and all I would do is just like go to Loudwire, or I would go to the Discover Weekly and just click on albums, and I'd download them, and I'd be like, I just have to listen to this. And on Loudwire they were like popular albums. It's I would just scroll down, and they had like fucking 80s shit, and it was like Wasp and fucking whatever. Mm-hmm. And I saw King. Yeah, exactly. So I saw like
80 million times.
Right, and I saw King Diamond on there, and I just clicked on Abigail, and I downloaded it. I'm like, okay, we'll listen to this. And I think it was the night after or before I listened to Rust in Peace that I listened to Abigail.
Holy shit, your memory's acute.
Yeah, like something like that.
But real quick, just before you proceed, do you remember why you clicked on King Diamond to begin with?
It was just on the I just kept seeing the name pop up.
Just frequency of seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kept seeing that Abigail cover over and over, and I was like, okay, I should probably listen to this, And then I listened to Rust in Peace, and I thought it was okay. Actually, no, that's not true. I think my mind was fucking blown, but I was like trying to go to bed because I would just play music to go to sleep because it was like the only time I could listen to it.
Rust in Peace to
and
fall
I was
asleep.
I was like, this is not helping. And then I did the same thing with Abigail like a week later or whatever, and I was like, I don't really get it, and I liked the title track, mm-hmm. and I was like, Abigail, the song is cool, and that was kind of it. I didn't really come back to it.
Whoa, didn't expect that answer whatsoever.
So then I go back to the Guitar Hero stuff. I have Guitar Hero Metallica, obsessed with Metallica, and they have all these extra songs on it, right?
Yeah.
And they had Evil by Mercyful Fate.
Oh, they're huge Mercyful Fate fans.
Yeah. Did not connect the dots at all. And I loved Evil. I thought that was a great song. I was like, this fucking rules. Like, what is this shit? And then I I don't know. Eventually, I listened to Mercyful Fate, but it wasn't until I found out that King Diamond and Mercyful Fate were together.
Mhm.
Like it took like a minute, and but I would just listen to Evil. I would listen to Abigail. That was kind of it. And then I followed Metal Blade Records on YouTube, and they released a live version of Sleepless Nights by King
Oh,
Diamond.
no shit.
That was
Okay.
the first time I saw him. I didn't.
Oh my god.
I didn't know Dick. You know what I'm saying?
So you'd already been listening to him for a little bit, even though you're just like oscillating
Yeah.
between two songs.
Yeah.
But you hadn't even at that point gotten the full impact of what that guy's doing.
No, I didn't know.
Oh shit.
So I saw
Okay.
that, and that was one of those songs. Like, and I think I am really attracted to, and some of my favorite songs sound really unique. And there's no song that sounds like Sleepless Nights. Not even in King Diamond's catalog.
No.
There's nothing that sounds like that. But I got that whole live because they were doing the Songs for the Dead album, that live album, and they were promoting it. And I just like the stage and all the people and the makeup. And he like came over to Andy LaRocque and helped him play the solo. Like he put his fingers on like certain strings and shit. And I was like, what is happening?
Their chemistry is like,
yeah, and
absolutely.
And his his highs, I thought were okay. I was like, this is not really Halfordy. Like I don't get it. It wasn't until he did his deep growl.
That's my preferred voice.
Where I was just like, oh, it's not that he can go high. It's that he can go anywhere he wants. And I was like, this is insanity.
He's
like,
a great vocalist.
Yeah, I was like, I loved the gothicness of it. I loved everything about the
look. You look
look
like him too.
Do you
yeah,
see
I said it.
Long nose and blue eyes? No,
yeah.
But yeah. So I was, and after that, I was like, this fucking rules. And I came back to Abigail, and I was like, this is an awesome album. I saw Conspiracy at like fucking Angelo's or something. The original, it was like $29.
Which album cover?
The one where he's like,
yeah, I love that one.
And that's still my favorite King Diamond album.
Sick,
and
dude.
So I just started collecting his shit, and then I saw him on the that tour in 2019, and I already bought a shirt. Like I got there early. I parked at the stupid fucking Wendy's, and then I got a shirt. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get close. Like I'm excited for Sleepless Nights and like Welcome Home and shit like that. Every song blew me away, and then I came back at the end of the show and bought another shirt, which is at the time I never did that.
Was that with Creator?
No, it was with Unto Others before they changed to Idle, or no, they were called Idle Hands, and then they changed to Unto Others, and they're kind of like goth metal.
Yeah, they played with Behemoth,
and then the Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats as well, and I was not really blown away by that band.
Please continue as fast as possible.
So
next we're gonna be talking about King Gizzard.
Yeah,
so throw you out the fucking window. Proceed.
I don't want to do this right now. So fucking yeah. So like that was cool.
Yeah.
and then after that I was just like so into it, and it's kind of funny because I didn't really think that I was like super into it. Like my stepmom was like, oh man, I dated a guy that was like really into King Diamond, and I came home with the Abigail shirt and I was like, I got it, and she was just like, oh god, like
yeah, this again.
Yeah, and then I got those two other ones. Like so, like I knew I was like moderately into him, and I was listening to his albums, going through the catalog, and then I had heard Mercyful Fate, figured that connection out. I was into Melissa and stuff, and I don't know, like I think I would just sing Evil all the time because like
okay, so that was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
When do you go from not being or not getting it, so as you put it, to finding an affinity, connecting the dots, to realizing you can then do it?
I don't know. I just got into it like slowly. Like I was like, I really like the look. I like the ethos. I like the interviews. His accent is fun to listen to. Just like, but like everything about it, like is kind of why I got into Manson too. It was really look unique and a little dark. And it was, but also like with King Diamond, it was like he was so into it, but it was also kind of goofy, and that made me like it more.
Mm-hmm.
And like the concept, I love concept albums too, and that was like all of his albums were just a big long story, and they were always like creepy and fucking weird. And I was
Yes.
like who?
Yeah,
who
they
just
are.
yeah just who comes up with an idea like I'm just gonna make a concept album about my grandma? Like who else would do that? Like that's so insane.
Yeah, no, the fact that a metal artist so legendary has influenced so many people that wrote the song T.
Yeah.
It's like if that's for my 2 cents, if that's not emphasis on people having to take creative risk, because it's like he could have just written,
Yes.
Desecration of Souls 8 million times, and
Yeah.
I'd have been happy. I would not have complained. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, that song's bonkers. Like, I'm happy it exists. Like, and going back to Megadeth, like, Sweating Bullets. That's one of the stupidest fucking songs ever written. But I'm happy it exists.
I listen to it all the time.
And kudos. Yeah, I have 2 copies of the CD that it's on. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad he wrote that. I'm glad it got made.
It went out there.
I'm glad it has like however millions of views because it's weird and that's important.
That's kind of what with King Diamond. It was just so unique. I was like, there's nothing else that sounds like this. There's
I hear you.
Nothing else. And so yeah, that was like just huge. Was just the yeah. I mean, seriously, they go hand in hand. The look and the music, and yeah, just them married together is what really set me over the edge. And he's like for real. Like he's not like all of his, he does those interviews and he's like, yeah, I had a haunted apartment and all this shit, and you're like, what? Yeah.
When he talks about, I think it's like a German journalist.
Yeah.
That, like, got their hair pulled in his bathroom and there was no one there.
Yeah. Yeah. So like he's like for fucking real. Like he's not just bullshit. Even though it's like fictional stories or whatever, it's drawing from something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thought it was really creepy and unique. And
friends with Anton LaVey. So that's all I need to know.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. Like it was just fucking cool. And then yeah, I guess I already knew how to do Painkiller, and that, like I said, that was like a party trick.
Yeah, you and Aiden whipped that out.
Yeah, and then
I swear to God, the fact that there's no footage, I'm gonna fucking burn down this whole fucking shit.
But yeah, we would do that, and then Evil was just the same vein. Pretty
cool.
Pretty simple to do, and I really liked the lyrics. They were just, they're like classic 80s metal, just so fucking in your face, and I was just like, this is amazing. Yeah. So yeah, we'd do karaoke and shit, and I'd play those 2 songs or whatever, and just kind of spiraled. But truly,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was real quick. No, truly, really super got into it. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Okay, sorry. Yeah, my question. I'm gonna keep going.
No, and if you want to, by all means, don't let me derail you there. But I was just gonna ask: was it all of this the kind of like steady progression to the Black Horsemen? Just that you got this affinity, you saw you could do it, and now all of a sudden it's like you have this inspiration. Can you speak to that? Yeah,
that's kind of what I was gonna say, but I felt like I don't know. So that was like I think I was trying to start bands doing original music, kinda, and it was fun, but it wasn't serious. I wasn't really doing anything. But it wasn't until I was in college, because I went for music audio engineering, and you had to record music. So you had to make your own music. So I had to sing over it. I had to learn kind of how to use a MIDI controller, all this shit. But like kind of same thing. Like I didn't, I was like, I love King Diamond, but that's kind of it. But I would mic check. I would sing fucking something, Halloween or whatever, or whatever, and everybody's like, this is really cool. And then I half dated this girl, and she fucking was like, you love King Diamond, here's a King Diamond keychain. And I was just like, all right. But like and then we were she's like, you could start a tribute band. Mm-hmm. Like you could do a cover band.
Half dated? What the fuck does that mean?
And so like, but I was like, I guess I never realized like how much I liked it. Mm-hmm. And then like we were gonna try to start a cover band, and that didn't really work out, but it kind of planted that seed where I was like, people like cover bands, people are into it, and I never really like got into that scene. And then I started working with these dudes, Zach and Cambo, and I shout them out, and I would do sound for their Bandiyokis, nights, and they had plenty of cover bands, like a Red Hot Chili Peppers one, a Soundgarden one, all this shit. And they had a lot of fun doing it, and they would just draw people in, and like, I didn't really know anybody that was into making original music. This cover band thing fell through. I've seen these people get lots of success and have lots of fun doing it, and I was just like, well, fuck it. Like, I should just put it out there and see if people want to. And I was thinking, like, do I want to just have covers of like different songs? And I just made a list of songs I would want to sing, and all of them were King Diamond songs or Mercyful Fate songs. And
No
I was like,
kidding.
well, fuck it. Let's just do a King Diamond
Okay.
thing.
So yeah, just to give a little context, because we kind of just jumped into it with requisite knowledge not
Yeah.
everyone may have. The
Yeah.
Black Horsemen,
Yeah.
your tribute.
Yes.
You want to shout out the boys?
Yeah, we got Dan, Gianni.
Ugh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I'm just playing.
We got Dan, Gianni, Brandon, and Sam
Hell yeah.
all into it. And they kind of, like I said, I put an ad out on Black Sky and Instagram and all this shit. And they reached out to me. I met Dan at a High on Fire show. And
Oh, sick.
it just
Okay.
kind of all like came together. And then we met Sam through a mutual friend. And yeah, we just all met up and kind of. And I felt like that was the way to go, because I was like, you guys are into King Diamond.
Mhm.
Like, I'm
Oh
not.
yeah.
I'm not trying to convince somebody.
Mhm.
It's like it's not your guitar player learned King Diamond. It's
Mhm.
you like King Diamond. You can also play guitar.
Yes, and I would say that's a fine approach across the board, but I would find it especially important for you because you're not coming in, without knowledge and
Right.
without requisite passion to do it in a way.
Yeah.
Because for all of the fun and pageantry, you're not making it a goof.
No.
I had the pleasure for opening for you guys when I was
Yeah.
still in Ashes for the Mute,
Yeah.
and you guys were fucking sick.
Thanks, man.
Great time.
Yeah.
The audience had a great time. Laser had a great time, which
Yeah.
is the most important thing. And we all went home covered in fucking paint. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, it was great.
No, you all did a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we had a great time, and we're gonna try to do like 2 times a year, I think. But
Do you want to mention your booking? Is that allowed?
I don't know.
Okay, then shh. Shut up, Frank. Shut up.
You know,
dude.
I will say it because right now it's not official,
Then
but
don't. Then just, yeah.
but I'll put this out in like a month. So
That's up to you, Killer.
March 14th, High Dive. Black Horsemen will be playing.
Be there or be square.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I think when I was putting it together, because I go through these phases where I'm like really into a band or whatever, and I did that with King Diamond, Merciful Fate. I was into it. I was watching videos and all this shit for like a month. It wasn't until like I put the band together that it hit me like harder than it ever did. Like, me preparing to send out the stuff, it was insanity. Like, I just could not get enough of that shit. I
Really?
was just so into it. And that'll happen every so often where I'm just like, holy shit, I really want to listen to this band right now. And with King Diamond in particular, just hits a little bit harder because I know a chunk of the songs, and we're doing the face paint, all this shit. Because you're like, I'm like watching live videos and stuff. I'm like, how does this guy move? How does he interact with the audience?
Dude, you fucking nailed all that. The first second you started playing air guitar, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm watching King Diamond. You're the real King Diamond. I don't know who that other guy is.
Yeah, so that was just that's how that all kind of worked out. And yeah, now it's bueno. It's where it's doing good.
Y'all did something cool too, because you look like him, and with the paint and everything,
Yeah.
and without, and you studied him, and you clearly know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the rest of the guys, denim vests, leather jackets, leather pants.
Yeah.
Fucking Sam hitting hard as a motherfucker, mouthing the words.
Yeah, dude.
Like, there was so much personality that, yes, it felt like what you were trying to do, but I felt like y'all's personalities were coming through at the same time.
And that was kind of the plan, because I was just like, I don't want it to be an exact copy. And I'm gonna have to say, one of the big bands that really was like, this is how you do this, is a Judas Priest band out here called Resurrection.
Oh, I'm not
I
familiar with them.
saw them and Cambo's band, his Chris Cornell band opened up for him. So I went there to see him, and then Resurrection was just an extra bonus. But I was like, this guy obviously isn't Rob Halford, but he's Rob Halford of Colorado. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like
Sure.
he emulated it, and he had his own flair with it, and his
Fascinating.
own his personality was so strong, even though he was singing Judas Priest songs. And I was just like, I have to do that.
Cool.
Like that's the way to do it, not to impersonate somebody, but take something and kind of make it your own thing. And so I was like, that's how you do it.
You threaded that needle brilliantly,
Thank
in my
you.
opinion.
Thank you.
For sure, dude. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have a quirk that I'm
Yeah.
moderately aware of.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, I have to. Okay. You are very meticulous in the documentation of your attire.
Yes.
Go.
So fucking okay, so
And again, you're my homie. I asked if I could
yeah,
ask.
no, it's true.
But I also, for the record, don't know what the man's about to say because I need to know in real time.
Yeah.
Proceed, please.
Okay, so for those who don't know, for those at home, I write down every shirt that I wear every day, like a calendar. It's like a shirt schedule or a calendar, and I write like I don't write down I'm gonna wear this shirt. I just pick out the shirt and then I wear it. And the way I do it now is I'll go off the pants because I wear pants 2 days in a row.
So you don't decide, and so there is an element of chaos to this.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I'll just because I'm always thinking about what shirt I want to wear. Always.
Yeah.
It's always happening. And
that's why metalheads have 8 million.
Yeah.
shirts,
No, I
so.
have. I think I counted. I think I have 400 shirts, probably.
You counted.
Yeah. And well, I have a fucking schedule, dude. What do you
Fair enough. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, I have every shirt listed that I own, the whole thing, even the ones in storage. Like
you have shirts in storage, like for winter, like seasonal. Or
no,
just...
like I just don't wear them anymore.
Like what goes into the storage? Like what's overstock?
Shirts that are too big, or shirts I bought at a concert and I don't like to wear them anymore. Just stuff like that. Just or I got it for a gift and I was like, I'm not gonna wear this. This just goes in storage. So it's just shit like that. So there's like I have like you haven't seen all my Smashing Pumpkin shirts because I have like 7.
No. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen.
And
a Smashing Pumpkin shirt.
I only have one that I wear. I only have one in rotation.
What's wrong with the other 6?
I just don't really like the designs that much anymore. I don't like the material.
Oh yeah, because you also you're into the make of a shirt.
Yeah.
Like we discussed it because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Where it's like I'm wearing. Is this good?
No, because this is all rubbery.
So that's bad.
Well, did you get this from Hot Topic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that makes sense because it shrinks every fucking time you wash it.
Yeah,
and then it infuriates me.
They do shrink,
and it's just uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Yeah, dude, but I'm old. Slipknot shirt from Hot Topic. I need that.
Yeah, you're like I need it.
Yeah, but because you and I are very different. I have no idea. I don't know what I wore yesterday. I probably wore like 3 shirts too because I'm like working out and just taking shit off.
Right.
And then I don't care if a shirt's made out of fucking tissue paper.
Right.
Life is transient, bro. And again, that's just me. I'm not saying,
Right. Yeah. No, I had like an iron-on shirt that my grandpa made me one time, like a Deadpool logo, and like I had a big sweat circle like right here, and I was like, we can't let this.
It's the end of you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this ain't happening.
So you write it down.
Yeah. So
is there a processing that is done to this data where you then are like, I wore too much Florida death metal last month. I need to put some fucking Scandinavian black metal on next month.
Kinda.
I can't wait.
Okay, so I'll tell you. Well, first of all, I'll tell you how I pick them because like I'll think about what shirt I want to wear all the time, and I'll go because I wear pants 2 days in a row, and I'll be like, okay, the pants is gonna decide which 2 shirts I'm gonna wear. Hang those up on my dresser. And I pick another pair of pants, put that underneath, hang up other 2 shirts. So the 4 days are planned.
Wait a minute. Wait.
And if I change my mind, I'll switch them or whatever.
So it's planned up until a point, predicated upon pants.
Yes.
Now, do you document the pants?
No, but
that
you
would
could
just be fucking.
well, you can tell what pants I'm wearing based off of the shirt for the most
Oh
part.
no, duh! What am I thinking? You're right.
So it started. I'll tell you how this started.
I was almost horrified to ask. I don't know if I want my next breath more than I want your answer.
So I used to work security, and I would get laid off and hired on, and switch locations. And I ended up getting hired back during COVID, and I was in charge of like the front entrance, and people had to like take their temperature on their scanner thing and walk in.
Yeah.
But the people only come in 2 times a day for lunch and when they come in for work. That's it. That's the only time you scan people. So it's fucking 8 hours of pure boredom. So I downloaded Netflix on the computer. I watched all the Punishers. I watched all kinds of shit. And I got bored of that, so I brought weights, and I would just jam music and lift weights, and I got kind of bored of that. And I was just like, I don't know how many CDs I have. I don't know how many shirts I have. And I need to figure out which albums I need. I need to figure out what shirts of bands I want. So I started to write them down. And it was on a piece of paper. And it was like 8 pages long. And I was like, this needs to be a Google Doc. So I would like, have the Metal Archives or the Wikipedia page and just transcribe the discography on there. And I'm like, okay, I have this album. I don't have this one. This is the one I need. And I would just keep going down. Because, I bought like 8 albums twice. And I was and I was like, I don't want to do this bullshit anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's how that worked. And I don't remember if it started with CDs or started with shirts, one of the two. But then I was like, oh, I don't have a Black Sabbath shirt? And I was like, what the fuck? So it was just shit like that I would just like try and figure out.
Look, continue. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. What were you gonna
I love your outcomes because it will be like, we'll be at a store and you'll be like, do I have this Sabotage or whatever?
Yeah.
And you always know, where I'm like, Emma, help. So like,
right.
I absolutely get the practicality of that.
Yeah.
The shirts never change.
So it's kind of funny because I made that in like 2020. I didn't start enacting it until 2021, like April. And this was like...
Oh, so this is relatively new.
This is pretty new.
Oh, for some reason I was under the impression you've been doing this since like high school.
No. Because, I was not in the mood to do that at that time.
Sure. You didn't know, because, you've had the reason with...
Right. I didn't even think I was a metalhead. Like, I was playing Mortal Kombat. I didn't know.
Right, you were busy gatekeeping yourself.
Right,
apologies.
So I didn't have time for that.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't reached that level yet. I haven't reached the t-shirt schedule yet. That comes later. So fucking...
S-tier behavior right there. Let's keep going.
So, and then I was just like... Well, then I was like, I have so many shirts, how do I know... if I haven't already, like, what if I wear the same shirt 8 times and I haven't worn any of these other shirts? So that was kind of to figure it out. Where I was like, I can't give one shirt too much love. I spent $45 on all these shirts. They need to get equal use to get my money's worth here.
Again, there's a logic to this.
So so that's how it started. It was just like, I need to know like what I'm wearing all the time, and then it just kind of became fun. And
Sure.
And I didn't like
setting a high score at this point.
Right, and then I had a phone calendar or whatever, but then I would kind of write down on the shirts like, oh, I'm doing this today, and it would be like big-ish events like I'm having dinner with my grandparents, or I'm going to see fucking Slayer this night, or I'm going to karaoke, or I'm hanging out with this dude.
Is this before or after?
After the shirts.
No. I'm sorry. Like, are you drafting like dinner with mom with your incantation shirt, or is it I wore an incantation shirt and then I had dinner with mom?
It's I wish I could just show you.
I know, but
because it goes hand in hand. Like, I'll put the date in parentheses what I'm doing, and then whatever that thing is, and then the shirt that I wear that day. So
that's interesting, man.
Yeah, I plan out what I'm doing, like if it's set in stone before the shirt.
I wanted this to be more neurotic.
I'm not that George Costanza-like. Like, there is reason to this.
Yeah. Well, he had morning mist at the same time. But in fairness, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah. No, okay. So this is a lot of this is just down to being meticulous and giving a shit about your stuff.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty much it. Yeah, because I mean, my family, my mom's side is the same. We're very stuff oriented. We don't like it when people touch our shit.
Mm.
It's not our thing.
Mhm.
And I was just like, I just need to catalog all the shit I have.
Sure.
And then, you know, and then I can see like, okay, I've never worn this fucking shirt. I'm giving it away.
So, dude, the fact that you lend people stuff, thank you. Like, I have 2 of your CDs right now. I feel like handling them with gloves. Thanks. I'm looking at them right now. Like, are they in the sun? Are they gonna get yellowed? Like, I gotta put them in cellophane before disc rot happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. I just like we always like. I don't know if I was raised with it or what, but it was just like if you have stuff, you have to take care of it. Otherwise,
I respect the shit out of that.
Why do you have it? What is the fucking point?
Yeah.
Like I can't that's why I hate buying food because it goes away so fast.
And you eat.
I know.
I've seen you eat.
I know. That's why I hate it so much. Because I'm like, I just spent $20. This could have been 3 CDs. This could have been 3 used CDs I'd have forever. I just spent $20 on a fucking burrito.
Yeah, and that burrito's not going on the motherfucking list.
It lasted for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
on the list.
That burrito's not helping the list at all. Fuck that burrito. You know what? I'm on your side. Fucking, what is today?
You're making your own list.
Yeah, February fucking 5th, Wednesday. I wore a Slipknot shirt. How about that?
Write it down.
No. I'm already giving up. I like the idea. I'll keep a running list in my head and it will be just wrong. Yeah. I have 6 Uwata shirts.
Do you know
as 1 Uwata.
Do you know what was really crazy? I could not do this because I saw other people doing it. Is they would have a Topster, right? I don't know what that is. It's like a website, and you just like find JPEGs of like your top 10 albums, 100 albums, or whatever, and they would like write them down. And I saw people would do that once a week. I was
about to say my top 100 changes.
Yeah, well, they would do it once a week. Every album they listened to that week.
Oh. Do you see my desk right now?
No, dude. I tried to do that for way too long, and I actually still have some of the posts on my music account. And
that's beyond.
And I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, no, that sounds awful, actually.
Yeah, I was like, and then I would get upset when I'd play playlists because I'm like, I'm not listening to an album. I should listen to an album. Yeah, it was insanity. I was like, this is dumb. Like, I don't like this at all.
Shit. Okay, well, thank you for letting me ask you a personal question.
Sure.
Yeah. And we're approaching about 50 minutes. Mm-hmm. You want to wrap up with a couple more?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, did you have any?
I do have a couple more.
Oh, shit. Okay,
cool. Yeah. So, practical question in terms of the arts that you're involved in. Mm-hmm. Black Horsemen, Principal.
Yeah.
You have another few projects that are a little like more kind of for fun and so on.
Yeah.
And you get into those to your heart's content, of course. But what, if any, no pressure, what goals do you have when it comes to all this inspiration and, you know, your participation in the culture that, you know, we all share?
Sure.
What is it, if anything, that you may have insofar as a desired trajectory?
I think as far as the other band, I'm assuming you're referring to, Museum Security, it's like a comedy improv thing. That one, it can take its time. Sky's the limit with that. Right now, I feel like, and I think the rest of the guys feel like we're kind of comfortable doing these open mics, which is kind of the plan. Is like, I don't think we're ready for a full set.
And that's Museum Security stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready for a full set. I think we're still kind of figuring that out, and that's the fun of it, I think. Is like we're just kind of having fun with it. It's a little bit more laid back. Excuse me. So right now, just doing the open mics, trying to play live every week, every other week. That's kind of the plan. And then we have like 80 songs written because I mean they were made up on the spot. So
how long are they?
Like
average, of course.
Like 4 minutes.
Holy Moses! What?
Yeah. Well, some of them are long as shit. But we're trying to cut it down. We're trying to keep it 3 to 4 minutes.
When you said 80?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. I mean, half of them are probably terrible,
but Jesus Christ, the effort alone to have that many songs, and they're not like.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was like assuming it was like the Boredoms, where it's like a 30-minute song about a rubber band or 30-second song about a rubber band. You know, like.
No, we try to make like actual real songs. Like,
Goddamn.
but we have great chemistry. We understand each other musically, that we can make it happen. And we just need need to work it out a little bit more. But yeah, we have like 10 solid ones, and we just need to mix and master those. So that's kind of like the long-term goal, is to like, let's get this album ready. Let's book a show at some point. And
so you do wish to turn it into a thing?
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Right now, and like I said, it's kind of slow, and I don't really mind that. I think as long as it's the four of us together, that's really the most important part. Like, it's not nearly as I don't want to say serious, but it's not as like confined as something like the Black Horsemen, where it's like we are 100% like 2 gigs a year. We need to do 2 gigs a year, and if we can do more, cool. But that's like, we have to
bare minimum.
Yeah, sure, we have to do that. So watch me say all this stuff, and then everybody's like, we never discussed this.
Take that, Gianna.
Yeah. But so yeah, so we so that's the goal with that. And then as far as the other music stuff, like I said, I've always been writing lyrics. I always write songs in my head, so I'm like half learning bass.
Oh yes, you and I have talked about
yeah,
that.
so like,
I think that's dope.
That's a little bit more in the future, when I really feel the like, okay, I need to fucking just do this. That's way out there. And as far as the channel goes, just trying to interview as many metal bands as I can in the Denver area, and just get that exposure out there. Cause
thank you.
Yeah, because I mean, like, the only reason I even started this thing was because, well, first of all, I was really sad and lonely when I started, because I didn't have anybody to talk about metal shit with. So I was like, I'm just gonna fucking record myself talking about metal, and then that will project me out there to other people. And at first, it was kind of like a review thing or whatever, and I found that medium to be really uninteresting to me. And I was like doing sound sometimes, and then I kind of fell out of that. And then I was like, I have this channel, and everything that I've been doing has been really uninteresting, but I still want to contribute to the community. So how do I do it? And this seemed to be like the best route. So, and if I throw in shirt videos and shit every so often, and that's fun. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to keep us up to date on the list. Where else are the people going to know about the list? Why? Because now you're obligated.
Should I make it like a shared, like you can view it?
That's entirely at your discretion.
But like a Google, because it's a Google Doc.
As long as people can't edit it.
No, they can't.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just make it like a view. Do you want access to that?
Yeah. you could give me a test like it's a college entrance exam. I'm gonna study this.
One of my favorite things to do at the end of every year is to see which band I wore the most and which shirt I wore the most.
We could bet on it, like the rest of us. Oh my god!
What is that called? Sports King?
Yeah,
a sports book.
Yeah. We're gonna online gamble on your fucking Sepultura shirt. You have any? Why not? Help the guy out,
because I've never seen a Bestial Devastation shirt.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
That's it. That's literally it. Like, I was like, if I'm gonna get a Sepultura shirt, it has to be that album.
That's a good one.
Otherwise, I don't. I mean, I have a Cavalera shirt.
Nice.
So,
yeah, you know how I feel about those re-releases. Those are the shit.
I know.
Those three. Okay, real quick. Max, you killed it. I listened to Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation twice through with the re-releases, and then when Schizophrenic came out, everyone could just stop.
Are you gonna go see him?
No. I don't know. I just don't like saying no. But okay. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me do this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for wanting to do this.
Yeah,
because you've been champion day one. The only reason I started this is because you're like, I'm in 100% support of that, and I was like, all right, finally somebody's fucking into it.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, thank you, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for doing it. I hope you continue to do it, and let's make 2025 really cool.
Yeah, dude. Cool. I was gonna say before we end.
Oh no.
Do you want to promote your shit?
Your day.
Keep an eye out for Frank. He's doing stuff.
I'm doing some stuff.
It's cool.
This guy.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Peace.